Greetings, everybody. Keith here. Hoping everybody's having a good day, enjoying life, living life, loving life. I want to remind everybody, please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. There's a PayPal link in there for anybody that wants to share some love. And, of course, the StreamYard link for anybody who wants to join the panel. So feel free to join. And before we get started, I want to put a little information out there so people get things straight in the streets. You know, this thing with Paul and I. So he can go ahead and keep projecting all he wants, but what happened is he asked to borrow the GB4000 that I got through donations that were acquired through his channel. Now, granted, they were acquired through his channel, but I never asked for them. It was only upon the mention that I had lung cancer that he felt the need and a love to share the PayPal link if anybody wanted to donate. And it happened so quick that in less than 24 hours, I had to shut it down. In that, it's not just the GB4000. Like I've said in some of the videos I've done on my little journey here with lung cancer, that it's a multifaceted approach of both vitamins, or of all vitamins, diet changes, teas, hydrogen peroxide treatments, DMSO, apricot seeds, along with the GB4000, RSO, Rick Simpson oil, the immunotherapy that I go through up at the local clinic, which is merely white blood cells from my own body, and whatever it is that he has that he's butthurt because I told him no, I'm still using it, is on him. And that's the only problem that I really see, is that he wanted to borrow the GB4000 because he thinks it's going to cure cancer for his uncle, or thought it would. I don't know. I don't care. He never explained that situation to me, so I can only assume. But at the same time, that's what I see as the problem. Pure and simple. Just so you know. Tired of all the projections. I appreciate everything everybody does for me in all senses. But I don't have to give glory to Paul and his platform. I give glory to God. The people that gave evidently felt a urge in their heart of love of something that they gave through those channels. Otherwise, they wouldn't have given it. I do appreciate it. But that's not to say that credit goes to Paul, and it certainly doesn't go to me. And the projection that it cured my cancer is false. I still have cancer. I'm still dealing with it. It's not near as bad as it was. It seems to be getting progressively better, and so we'll keep you up to date. In the meantime, if you want drama, you can go over to those kind of panels. You want truth and research and the ability to discuss the differences in what we find, the inconsistencies, and how we figure out what are impossibilities and what are feasible and probabilities. Come on, join me. Otherwise, I don't care for any of the drama. I've got too much in my life at stake to worry about your bullshit, petty-ass hurt feelers, period. So let's get into it. First one I got, when I was a kid, we had a program called the Neighborhood Watch Program. And you see signs in all the neighborhoods where it implemented itself. And people just automatically kept an eye out. Today we have this wonderful device known as cell phones that we can use to do certain recordings. And I urge people to learn how to use this in conjunction with what we used to have as a neighborhood watch program, so we can keep an eye on our neighborhood, so we can watch our neighborhood. There's a lot of times where we're sitting around idle and could just have a phone sitting up to record things as they happen. You never know what might happen. And in that, this helps us learn ourselves how to help hold our public officials accountable. So please pay attention.
Admit it, you were driving, right? I'm walking out of here. Be a man.
No, I wasn't.
Okay. You're my new favorite target, dude.
You're my new favorite target, dude. See, that's telling us these public officials will target you. because they get their feelers hurt. He needed this man to admit that he was driving the car in order to issue him a citation. He wouldn't admit to it. Evidently, the officer didn't have enough already, right? So he was fishing.
Hey, nah, you're my new favorite target. I'm going to get you.
You're my new favorite target. I'm going to get you. That's a threat. That's a threat coming from your public officials, folks. That's domestic terrorism. The guy is armed and says, you're my new favorite target. I'm going to get you. You want to play these games of hurt feelers? Keep going, buddy.
How you guys doing?
You're my new favorite target.
Huh?
I said, you're my new favorite target then.
Yeah, this is, oh, it's you.
No.
I know you.
I don't know you.
Gonna try to play it up. Oh, it's you. I know you. Like, it's a good deal. No big deal, right?
Yeah, you do.
I'm going to pull the body camera. I'm going to pull everything I can. What?
Yeah.
I mean, what was your name?
Gurachari. I've dealt with you.
I don't deal with anybody. I speak to people.
Oh, no, that's fine, man. No, he's driving like an idiot.
I apologize.
Now you're gonna try to explain it away. He's driving like an idiot. No, you just got in an interaction with him where he didn't admit to driving, and that's why you walked away. Now you're gonna try to convince somebody else that he was driving like an idiot. It doesn't work that way. You got to come with 2 or more witnesses, folks. You didn't go to your brother in private. You went to him in public. See, that's the problem with these public officials. See, that's Matthew 18, verse 15. If you have aught with your brother, you're supposed to go to them in private. But they drag you all the way around in the public and dismiss your privacy. It's bullshit. This next one, along with that inspirational message, this is a couple at a gym working out together, and this goes to the perspective that I really wish I would see amongst people more and more so, because this lady knows how to build a man up, and I hate seeing a man tearing himself down like this. But this is where we're at in society, where we have to believe that everybody else's perspective is what our outlook should be. And therefore, if we don't stand up to their standards, there's something wrong with us. That's false. We have to understand we are not created equal. We all have our own talents. We all display them differently. We all have different levels. Some have more than just one talent, obviously.
She dropped some life-changing advice that he'll never forget.
70, that's crazy.
It's actually not that impressive.
What?
It's not that impressive.
Yeah, it is.
No.
To me, it is. You know what they say?
What?
They say comparison is the thief of joy. You compare.
Comparison is the thief of joy. Why would I compare myself at 140 pounds, 5'7", to some 6'2" pound or 6'2", 350-pound gorilla? You ain't me. I ain't you. There's a very distinct difference, Pally.
Compare yourself to others and you'll never be happy. So that's impressive weight. Who cares what other people lift?
But what if I'm not satisfied?
Well, I mean, you could push yourself, but you can't do negative self-talk.
He realizes what she meant, and it immediately comforted him.
Let's hit those reps.
When this guy was
I hope you guys understand that. That's a process of building each other up, not trying to build each other up by first tearing them down. We already do that ourselves. Why the fuck do I need somebody else to tear me down? I've already put myself out there. I've already showed you how I've torn myself down. I am the bitch-ass slave. I was the fucking fool. Just like everybody else. And like I said, when it comes to these public officials, we have to give them their due too. They're indoctrinated just as well. Most of them. Some of them do know what's going on. But for the most part, most of them are indoctrinated. So again, Go to your brother in private. Why are you trying to make all my shit public? It doesn't make any sense to me.
I'm going to get arrested for abusive language, for saying the F word. So the F word, if I say the F word, I'm going to get arrested.
So if I say the F word, I'm going to get arrested. Fuck, 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 fuck. How many times do I get arrested then? Do I get arrested for each fuck? This is the insane mentality. And look at this man. He can't be but 24, 25 years old, if even that. This man doesn't even know how to fuck yet.
Officer, that's what you're telling me.
Yeah.
These guys told you to stop messing with me and stop talking, but you're going to tell me that if I say the F word,
They never tell you that.
you're going to say the F word.
They never
So all I have to do is say the F word, and you're going to arrest me.
abusive language.
I'm going to get arrested for abusive
language. Oh, did it abuse your little feelers? See, that's the problem. When it comes to an intangible feeling, how do you harm it? It has no substance. In the material world, where you want to accuse somebody of crime, it has to have some substance created by a cause of action. Fucking idiots.
The security on site to do that?
Yeah, but call the fire department. It's emergency.
Yes, of course, but as well, the fire department will also wait on the technicians as well.
You're not.
This goes to those interlocal agreements with all these different public officials and everything. See, when we have these, you can see this is a rather large building, evidently, by that elevator board. There's a lot of floors there. So I don't know what floor they're on, but if there's a bad elevator and you can't get off and there's any kind of fear that can cause a medical condition, these people have a duty of care to take care of, not a contract. And that's what this particular video is about.
Calling it because it costs $10,000 to get fire department here. It's a way to save money on our suffering. So thank you.
Unless there's an emergency in the elevator, but it's...
We have a woman that's about to pass out. What's not emergency?
Many large buildings have elevator technicians that will respond first if an elevator malfunctions. But the moment those occupants told the building there was a medical emergency in the elevator, they are required to call the fire department. Failing to do so would make them liable to the woman.
Absolutely. And this, I'm not trying to say that you go out there and jam up elevators and then start calling fire departments. You have to, it's got to be legit. Don't be stupid and insane like some of these other people. We have to be reasonable about this stuff and show a discerned comprehension of it so that we don't get caught up in it ourselves. Again, like I said, I used to be a bitch-ass slave.
I'll see if they come out. You ready?
When you call your supervisor.
Section 3802 of the Texas Penal Code only requires you ID if you've been lawfully arrested.
I will lawfully arrest you if I need to.
He's saying they're gonna arrest me because my bike was sticking out a little bit.
Then they're going to get their ass sued. This is why there's a divide between police and the citizenry.
See, they're trying to push an issue so they can get an ID from him, but they don't have an issue to push. So he's not IDing. So they're going to say, okay, well, failure to ID. That's the same thing as you're under arrest for resisting arrest when you weren't even being arrested. Okay? There's no crime to charge him with arrest. How can it be charged with resisting arrest? Same here. How can it be charged with failure to ID if there is no crime for him to have to be required to ID?
Call your supervisor, please.
He's going to call his. We have two different supervisors.
All right, well, I want to hear from him. That's fine. Call the supervisor on duty out here. I'm not going anywhere. We got all the time.
I'm just telling you right now, he's not. He's going to want you to call. He's going to have a phone number. He's going to ask you.
I don't need the ID. I'm on my property. 1 second.
It wasn't a traffic stop. There has to be no ID.
1 second.
No, it was. You're blocking the
That's not a traffic stop.
Your supervisor can be called and asked to come out here. I want to hear him on the phone or talk to a supervisor.
I'll see if they come out. You ready?
When you call your supervisor.
Section 3802 of the Texas Penal Code only requires you ID if you've been lawfully arrested.
Only requires you to ID if you have been lawfully arrested. That's it. Only. There is no other extracurricular language. So when they say you're not being detained, but they require your ID, false.
On Instagram. She looks really cute in it. Anyone could be looking at her. No one's got.
So this is about a lady posting somebody else's baby pics or a pic of a baby on the internet, on her social site. In a contract for babysitting, there's a certain element of privity, and that's what people evidently don't understand. Again, this metaverse is a dangerous place. It's a psychological platform, and there are psychological deteriorated people out here that will take anything they can and use it for whatever means for them. So you have to be very particular about the information and things that you put out here. Pay attention.
Gonna think about, no, your address isn't on there, your phone number isn't on there. It's just her face.
It's my child.
One photo.
We're not going to pay you until you take that photo off. So
well, I'll just stay.
Wrong. You got to pay. You're already bound by a contract, and just because somebody else breached the contract doesn't mean you breach it. So you have to fulfill your honor, and in that you prove their breach. In that breach, now you have cause. Now you can bring a suit. That's the way this system works, folks. Understand that contract is the imperative part. Equity imputes an intent to fulfill an obligation.
Stay here until you pay me then.
And of course, if a babysitter is babysitting a child in someone's private home, then those parents would absolutely have a reasonable expectation that their child's photographs would be held private. And therefore, that babysitter cannot post pictures on social media. Now, the issue in this case is whether or not the parents can withhold payment until the babysitter takes down the pictures. Labor laws in the United States of America require you to pay someone whenever they have fulfilled their job. Even though the babysitter may have violated the law by posting this child's photo on social media, they are still required to submit payment because these are two separate issues. It means that
Two separate issues. Understand the contract first and foremost. In understanding the contract, you can separate all the other issues.
Are you a sheriff? Are you the sheriff here? So it goes from the top down, huh? That's the sheriff? Is that where you learned how to be unprofessional? Is that where you learned, sir?
You just one of them guys, right?
You could have.
You just one of them guys, huh? See, he's pointing out that he's learning it from his boss. He just had to put his boss straight, too.
Identified yourself the same way anybody else.
I'm just recording. You just was recording me.
I mean, that's fine. You can do that all you want.
I don't care.
You look childish.
Absolutely. They look very childish. Is this upholding the law, or is this throwing a temper tantrum because you don't know the law and don't get things your way just because you wear that funny little badge and costume?
I'm a grown man.
But you look childish by recording me. Is that a personal phone or a work phone?
Why? Does it matter?
Calm down.
And you just address me as I'm a grown man, okay? I'm not no child. Do I make myself clear?
Did I say you were?
Looks like he's got a Napoleon complex. Look, like maybe he was bullied when he was younger, and that's why he's so abrupt on this point of view here. Tell him he looks like a child. He got pretty aggressive on that.
Were a child?
Do I make myself clear?
Did I say you were a child, deputy?
Acting like a
child. That's what I said. Correct. That's what I said. If you're gonna accuse me of something, let's make sure it's right. All right.
I'm not gonna talk. You don't have any.
Are you a sheriff?
I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to talk. You have a duty to communicate with the people that you're obligated to, bitch. Oh, this is wicked. Evidently, they tackled this guy, knocked him off his bike, knocked the bike over and everything, arrested him. Come to find out he's the wrong guy. Never stole a bike. It's his bike. Look how he's got his hand all twisted back like this. He's yelling because he's fucking his hand up. Trying to tell him to put his hands behind his back. How the fuck can he? You've got two hands on his one hand, twisting it and contorting it in such a way, he ain't got no strength or anything. This is ridiculous, folks. They don't know how to do the proper investigations. They're only here to arrest people to put them in jail. They don't care about the details. They'll sort them out later. Don't you get it?
Arrest me? Oh, you're gonna arrest me? Okay, so under the threat of arrest, you just violated. So I'm taking the advice he gave me when he threatened to arrest me last time I was here for daring to read the words of the Supreme Court. When he said, "Stop talking and just sue me." Okay, Chief, here we go.
Okay, Chief.
These are your
Here we
lawsuits.
And you notice it was somebody else serving them, and he got it on public camera. These meetings are recorded in their own records. We need to start holding them accountable.
Citation. I would request that the citation be removed from the officer. If he needs his recollection refreshed.
That's fine.
Your Honor, I do object to that because the citation is not evidence.
The citation is not evidence. Pay attention, folks. There's another video right after this. We're going to watch it too. Same guy.
As we all know.
It is now.
The law does not permit the citation to be entered. It's the officer's testimony. The piece of paper is not evidence. It's not certified by a clerk. We don't know who generated it. The officer can testify as to what's in it, what he saw, heard, smelled, whatever, but it's not evidence. It's not.
He can testify whatever he saw, smelled, heard, whatever, but it's not evidence. Okay? Understand that. He's not first-hand witness to a crime unless he's the victim or saw the crime happen. You cannot put in anything but first-hand testimony. It's the only thing admissible.
Not admissible.
Mr. Douglas, your response?
It's pretty simple. I mean, that's fine. I think the jury's heard what they need.
It's pretty simple. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think the juries need to hear what they need to hear. It's over. The jury knows that it doesn't matter what the officer's testimony is. It's not admissible in evidence. So they're not going to get to hear it. Oops, that is not the right one.
Not to get public records, and you got public records.
and is now answering to contempt charges from the chief judge since it's his administrative order.
Answering to contempt charges in violation of the dissemination of public information that is publicly available and can be shown to the public. He's not allowed to show it to the public.
See, this is the exact opposite of the last case, where we've got somebody trying to put evidence into the case that's not admissible. And here we've got them rejecting evidence that's put in the case as admissible because it is on the public record. And they're saying it's not, and that to do so, it's contempt. This is sick. This is what's happening in the courts in America, folks.
What country is this? He's basically saying, I told you not to get public records, and you got public records.
And is now answering to contempt charges from the chief judge since it's his administrative order.
Answering to contempt charges in violation of the dissemination of public.
It's just sickening.
I want to file a complaint, so I would need your name.
They'll know who I am.
They'll know who you
I
are.
don't feel comfortable because I'm single. I live on my own, and I don't feel comfortable you taping me
Oh.
and giving you my name. So when
You're a
file
public
complaint,
employee,
the
though.
Postal Service knows who works here.
Okay, great. Ma'am, have you ever heard of Poster 7, the rules and regulations governing the post office, the conduct on postal property? It gives me, it says it right there on your wall. It's right there. I can film in lobby and foyer areas. So that's what I'm going to continue to do.
The customers feel uncomfortable, so that's a different. You're violating their privacy.
There is no privacy in public.
There is privacy.
There is no privacy in public.
They are.
There is no, why don't you call the inspectors?
Because they're conducting.
Call the inspectors. The inspectors will tell you that I'm within my rights to film in public. Oh, okay. Well, see, she just admitted that you're telling me to leave, not her. So we'll see how that works out. Ma'am, what was your name again?
Yeah, we'll see how that works out. It doesn't always work out the best, but hopefully one of these days it'll start working out to them learning what their job is and knowing that we are allowed to record them in public. It is our duty and obligation to keep them in line, because if we don't, they start abusing us as if we're the slaves.
Possible way. A California man living in a seaside.
This is great. This is fucking great. When people want to get off your business and tell you you have to change your life and do things that you really don't think you ought to do, then sometimes if you just go above and beyond, you can fuck them up.
Town had his boat parked in his open driveway, but his neighbors complained that it was a huge eyesore. So city officials ordered him to build a fence to hide his boat from public view, or else they'd issue him fines. Not wanting to eat monthly fines, he had no choice but to build a 6-foot tall fence in his driveway to conceal the boat. But he also thought it would be nice to paint the fence, so he hired a local artist to do just that. Now, instead of his neighbors seeing a boat in his driveway, they see a mural of his boat in his driveway. City officials have yet to respond. His rich neighbors complained about his boat, so he trolled them in the best possible way. A California man living in a seaside town had his boat parked in his open driveway, but his neighbors complained that it was a huge eyesore. So city officials ordered him to build a fence to hide his boat from public view, or else they'd issue him fines. Not wanting to eat monthly fines, he had no choice but to build a 6-foot tall fence in his driveway to conceal the boat. But he also thought it would be nice to paint the fence, so he hired a local artist to do just that. Now, instead of his neighbors seeing a boat in his driveway, they see a mural of his boat in his.
And I just fucking love it. Eat it up. Eat it up. See, this is what I'm talking about. Jack said one day on a panel, you have a mouth, but you don't have to use it. And it's an indication that there's another way to communicate with people. I urge people to learn how to do it and use it to their advantage, to learn how to tell people you really don't give a fuck.
I want you to stop talking to me like I'm an idiot because I'm not. I need to understand what is going on with my daughter.
We're going that way. So if you're not going to listen,
Please take your hands off of me.
If you're not going to listen,
please take your hands off of me.
If you're not going to listen,
They've got her 17-year-old daughter in the car.
listen to what I'm telling
I
you to
just need
do,
to know where
you
my
can go to
daughter
jail too.
is.
She's
I
in one
get
of the
to
cars.
take care of my 17-year-old child.
She's
ripped out of the
going
car.
to jail.
For what?
Resisting arrest, like he's told you.
You had no reason to
20
arrest her.
times.
She was a passenger
So
in
this
the
is where
vehicle.
we're at. If you don't want to leave, you're obstructing our investigation. We're trying to
I'm
find out
allowed
his
to
name.
videotape, and you know I am.
But you're taking our focus off of what's going on
That's
over
fine.
here.
I won't talk to you then.
So you can go stand over there because you're a distraction
I can
to us.
stand right here.
No, ma'am. No, you can go over there. Can you please take that?
You're a distraction to us. No, you're disrupting my family. You've got my daughter. You are taking one of the children of the brethren of Israel, and you're trying to make merchandise out of her, out of an Article 1 administrative court through shadow papers, probated estates.
Is there tape somewhere?
Talk to me? Can you talk to me?
Why is everyone talking to me like I did something wrong?
In law enforcement, we'll gladly tell you everything that's going on.
In law enforcement, we're glad to tell you everything that's going on. No, you won't. You have failed to do so to this day. This is 5/15/2024, and that is the last thing you will do.
Okay, but right now we have things we have to get done, and you're impeding them.
My child's out here.
So are you showing up late to the game? Can we make that
I want
clear?
you to stop talking to me like I'm an
Okay,
idiot
I'm done
because
with
I'm
it.
not. I need
See, when these people think that they can go around treating the very people that they're obligated to, when these public officials go around thinking that the people that line their wallets are going to continuously take on this abuse, they're wrong. I urge you to read history. It repeats itself. Such kind of control mechanism has not won yet today. The people will always rise up and defeat it.
No, I don't. Can I get your name and badge number?
Yeah, what's your ID?
You have to suspect I'm committed a crime in order to ask for my ID.
You can't be filming over here.
I cannot impress this enough. You're not required to even give ID. Okay, first and foremost. Remember, the term is to identify yourself. So if you give ID, then you're identifying something else other than yourself. So the terminology is you must identify yourself. Okay? In that, you must know thyself so you can identify yourself grammatically as accurately as possible, so they can't misconstrue it as a first name and last name and a birth date. So when you correct your grammar in speaking to them and give them a given name that my mom and dad have called me all my life, was Keith. And of course, I hail from the surname of Little, and I was born around August 20th, 1966. Again, I didn't give them a first and last name. I didn't give them a birth date. So if they put it down in their records that I did, they're the ones that lied, not me. Okay? Identify. Know thyself.
I'm absolutely allowed and protected on my First Amendment.
You can't be filming our gate and stuff like
That is incorrect. I need you to call a supervisor.
Can I help you with today?
I'm a citizen journalist. I'm doing a story on the police department.
What's a citizen's journalist?
Freedom of press. It's under the First Amendment. We are all allowed to become citizen journalists.
Is there anything that you need in particular?
Absolutely not. I wasn't even engaging you guys at all.
How
Absolutely
long
not.
do you plan on being out here?
Now, I want you folks to notice how this woman is a little bit older. She's got that bob cut just down the back of her neck and just brushing her shoulders there. She looks a little bit more effeminate and lackadaisical than the modern day husky female cop that wants to put her hands on her hips just like a male cop. She's got her arms crossed. She's very uncomfortable here. We don't need those kind of people in the public offices. We don't need those kind of people interacting with the local people that they're obligated to and being afraid of the people. We need them to be comfortable with the people just as much as we need the people to be comfortable with the officials. So it's imperative that when we look at people like this, we place ourselves in our position as to what they're acting like. We have to know these kind of body language and stuff so we can look at that mentality. We don't want to scare her, right? It's all about officer safety, right? So come into agreement, but do so peacefully and let them know that, hey, you know, whatever you've got going on is on you. You better go figure you out.
Honestly, was almost done with leaving before she started being a psycho. You can't get out and give unlawful orders and demand ID if you don't have any articulable suspicion of me committing a crime.
It just depends on the situation if they want to give it to us or not. But we can ask anybody.
Absolutely,
Hey,
but she can't spout unlawful orders.
Well, I was saying you needed to scoot back because the car was going to hit.
Like, look how.
Well, I was saying you need to scoot back. No, you asked him for his ID. They will continuously try to make excuses. Ladies, you don't belong in these public workforces like this. Of course, in my opinion. Very strong opinion.
Far I am away from these vehicles and yourself.
Another car was trying to come in.
And I was not in the way.
Let me finish.
Hey, you're not talking to me like you're my mom.
You're acting like a child.
You're dismissed.
Why are you out here?
Because I'm filming.
Why are you out here? Because I'm filming. She's acting like his mom. Exactly right. Like I said, she's an older lady, bob haircut down the back of her neck, brushing her shoulders. She's a leave it to beaver wife.
I would have said because life is beautiful.
How you doing, Brother Lanza?
I would have said life is beautiful, like your haircut.
Yep. I like that. I like that too.
What are you doing later when you get off of it? Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, hit me up for a little tea afterwards.
Yeah. You know, I used to wear a cop uniform once unofficially. Yeah, I was just like joking, like pretended I was telling her I was a stripper.
So how you doing tonight, brother?
I'm all right, man.
Good.
See that
somebody was giving you a razz last night on the People's Podcast.
Barely. The People's Podcast.
I just came from there myself, Alexander.
Yeah, man. Like he's
still running his mouth.
About me? Or you?
Oh, about everything. He's a constant liar. He doesn't know how to tell the truth at all.
Oh man, the guy that wouldn't shut up.
Yeah, he's still going.
You know, makes you wonder.
It does. That's why I say, you know, I've been watching this stuff all my life, and I've been telling people all my life, you ain't my daddy. Fuck off. I've seen the psychosis many times, and it's never been limited outside of my friends and family. It includes all my friends and family.
Oh yeah, that's where you get all your inspiration.
Absolutely. My inspiration to get the fuck away from them.
Oh yeah, there's an encourage. My father used to call it encouragement. You know.
Yeah. So anyway, let's listen to this guy. This is remember I keep talking about body language and stuff. This is where we give them the bird. I mean, they get so butthurt because somebody gives them a sign language. You know, it's not even verbal where other people can hear them call him a fucking pig's cunt or something, you know?
I have a second take on it already. You may if you don't cover it.
All right.
Yeah.
Disorderly conduct?
Yes.
Is the running?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm being detained for disorderly conduct. What disorderly conduct?
The inappropriate gesture that you made over here.
Disorderly conduct for inappropriate gesture. Okay, so let me ask you, if you didn't see it, would it be a inappropriate gesture? Just like I said, if you didn't hear it, would it have been an inappropriate statement? If you didn't see it, would it have been an inappropriate gesture? So it only becomes inappropriate when they see it and they hear it, and it's because it's inappropriate to their feelers. Not because it's it breaks a law or anything. They just feel it's inappropriate because they don't like you telling them to fuck off.
I've never done this with you, Wizard, and I do this with respect. Let's take her view and say that you said it was her feelers that basically led to her reaction and stuff like this, and I agree. The interesting part of it is, look at the crime. Don't you think there's a strategic advantage to going after weak bull crap like that instead of actually finding something real where there is real danger, which would go against their feelings
Absolutely, and
of
that's why I say,
safety?
that's why I
Their
say
job title says to be safe.
that's why I say we're becoming Hitler's willing executioners, because we'd rather execute this guy for this crime and show that we're a good cop than to go after actual criminals and die and be honored as a good cop without being able to enjoy life. It's a very selfish perspective of this community care concern package, where they go out saying they're in fear of their life in these mean streets. Bitch, I've been walking these streets without a fucking weapon all my goddamn life.
Well, guess what? Let's put it this way. Imagine to yourself, don't even say it out loud, what is the most valuable weapon you possess?
Been saying that all my life.
And yeah, because it's like because like what I heard is like ideas like never die, you know. Like
Absolutely.
and so like what I heard. Now this is a very important distinction for me. When I heard it and understood it, or think I understand it, where it goes, when you see it, that's dangerous thinking.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Like
you realize the power of your ability to manifest it. This is the same thing with the Karens. They get off on calling the police to manifest their insanity by harming another man because their feelers are hurt. It's an amazing psychopathy. They think they're justified.
First of all, watch this dude.
They think they're justified.
Lackluster. He makes great videos. Funny thing is, this exact same thing happened to me today. Car pulls up next to me, passenger gives me the bird, parks in a spot that's right down from mine. They actually parked in the exact same apartment building that I was going to. So their windows are down. I walk right past their car and I say, "How you guys doing?" I do my business at the apartment. The car is still there. The windows are still down. And I said, "Hey, y'all have a nice day." And the driver smiled at me and said, "You too, officer." My point is, people are going to dislike you. Leave your ego at home. Show them that there's nothing to hate, and you will change a lot of minds.
You're being detained right now for disorderly conduct.
Yeah, and I agree. You know, I don't go around fingering cops unless it's, you know, like certain ones. I will. I don't have an animosity towards all cops, but there are certain ones I do, and I let them know it, and I won't back down from it. See, unlike other people that go around getting these traffic citations and stuff and going to court and then moving on to another community and getting another citation, and every once in a while he's successful on one of his videos and gets away without having to go to court or something. That's fine and dandy. I'm in the same fucking community I've lived all my goddamn life. Yeah. I ain't going nowhere. I'm right in the lion's den. The jail that I walked out and refused to sign is right down the road. I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. So nobody else made that community for you.
Yeah, I've got to make my
saying,
own. Yeah. I've got to find my own place to fit in the community. And I find it's never been as an employee. It's been as a leader of some sort. I don't care what it is, but the only thing I can lead in is truth. I don't know anything else.
Right.
I don't know auto mechanics enough to go lead truth in auto mechanics. I don't know any kind of science enough to go lead in science. I do know a lot of things about a lot of different topics, but the only thing I do know is that through my observations and perspective, my perception, I observe what I see as truth, and I can't go around believing anything else.
No, yeah, I'm with you 100. Yeah, the belief thing is a big. It's like yeah, it's like almost like a finger trap if you're not careful. You know.
Yep. Now
But
the next one. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, that whatever channel that was on, I was pretty surprised to see you there, and also kind of teaching those people in the chat too, because like they were all like, they were just like, because dude, I watched that back because like I thought, oh my gosh, I probably said like a bunch of dumb stuff or something, I usually think that every day. I usually think that, and then I'll go watch it back, and it's like, holy crap, like. There were a lot of situations within that 1.5 to 2 hours that I was there. I think you kind of call like the second half, but there's a lot of interactions in there that just show certain, what do you call them, change in the there's a noting of, okay, like people need to straighten up their posture a little bit here. You know what I'm saying? Like where they can't just be loosey goosey, and it's like, not that they're on edge in a bad way, but it's like they're like, okay, I'm into this. Then I feel that thought is more easily provoked. So that was funny the way they didn't catch how I put ATOM.
Yeah.
They didn't catch that till like 15 minutes in, and they said like I did like an exorcism on the panel.
Yeah.
And like they were freaking out, dude. And it was so I thought for you though, like if you looked at that again, I bet you that there's some really good logical things in there that show the dynamics, I guess, of lies and truth and respect winning, or truth and respect winning. Because what it does is it actually exposes them. Not that exposing in a bad way. It shows what, if I can go into a room I've never been in and literally, like, I'm not trying to say I did anything special, dude. I basically took over that place for like an hour and a half.
Well, you got to remember too, they've got a low grade mentality of fear monger. You'll notice a lot of their stories about their past history and how they're still living in this fear and stuff. And then along with that, the psychology on this metaverse, folks, you're never going to learn who I am on this metaverse.
Right, 100%.
This is only 10%, and of that 10%, you're only going to view maybe 10% of that. So you might get to know 1% of me if you can comprehend it.
Pretty much. That's pretty accurate, in my opinion.
Yeah, this isn't a real good place to learn about people. It's a good place to learn about information that might relate to people, but the only way you can get to know people is firsthand.
You're right. I like to continue these discussions, especially potentially like what we just spoke about what are we able to do with communication? What are we aware that we're able to do that we're potentially not aware of? It's sitting right in front of our face. Yeah, but like you said, like not biting on the gas lights and stuff like that. Dude, that kills their game.
Yeah.
If you don't bite on their gas lights, that it makes them look dumb.
You know what makes them look even dumber is the people that want to sit there and pipe up about a Hitler mustache, thinking that they're going to trigger me. Bitch, I'm the one that did it. I'm the one that put the mustache there as a trigger. You think you're going to trigger me? I don't know how they think that works.
I have never once had a negative thought about that mustache. I've always fucking thought it was I always thought it made a point, and I also thought it was funny, to be honest with you, like, but not in a bad way, like in a good way.
Well, yeah, and it's amazing. Like I said, the only place I still to this day, and I've been wearing it almost 8 months now, is on the metaverse. It's the only place I get a response to it. Out here in the real world, Nobody pipes up at all. You're in the
Really?
metaverse?
That's kind of funny, actually.
Yeah, see, it's only here on the metaverse that people have the balls to speak out and say the things that are on their mind. A man's intellect is limited and biased by his vocabulary, and the best place to find a man's loose tongue is on the metaverse.
Ooh.
They'll lay enough rope to hang themselves, like I've said many times.
Yeah.
So anyway,
thank you.
The next one I got is Mr. Hendry.
I got to get rolling, brother, but thank you. I'll catch you later for sure.
You bet. Thanks for stopping up. Appreciate
Bye-bye.
it, brother.
Thank
The next one I've got is Hendry. I don't know if you guys remember this guy. But Hendry, Hendry. Go over and check him out if you haven't already. He's doing a great job out there. He's going from place to place. He's doing what he needs to do to push the knowledge in the right places with the officials. So he's hitting the city council meetings and stuff like that, and really got a good head on his shoulder. And as far as keeping peace of mind and peace of heart, I don't know if there's anybody better out there. I find this guy very stoic, as Paul says.
Chief of the police department after I notified you all of his actions against me. We are at the Linton City Council meeting. This is the May 13th City Council meeting, and we are here to ask that the Linton City Council abolish the terrorist organization that is the Linton Police Department. Now, these people know they have...
Like I said earlier, we're talking about domestic terrorism. These people, as public officials, have an obligation to serve the people, we the people. And when they start doing these kind of things against we the people, just because they feel hurt, and things that we say hurt their feelers, doesn't mean that they have a right or a law that can support it. So it is absolutely, in my strong opinion, again, domestic terrorism.
Knowledge that the Linton police chief has leveled criminal charges against me. The accusation, speaking words he did not like at a city council meeting in March. We are here to ask them how they defend his actions and how they continuously fund his department with taxpayer dollars while he actively tries to put fear into the hearts of people he does not like. My name is Craig Hendry. The city of Linton has a rogue police department. This is not to be taken lightly, as the police department is the branch of government at the local level that actually gets physical with the constituents. I told you all a month ago that the chief of police is attempting or has leveled an accusation against me, an accusation of a violation of criminal law. And that accusation is that I spoke words that the chief did not agree with. You have all had time to verify what I've told you and confirm this heinous and unconstitutional act by the chief of police.
This guy right here, see how he's got his arms crossed? Same with this guy. Got his arms crossed. These guys know each other, and somewhere along the line, they're in support of each other, I'm sure. I don't know this Linton County or Linton City Council thing or anybody here, but body language. This guy tried to arrest me, I'd just run. He'd never be able to catch me. Fat ass. No fucking way. Okay? There's no reason we should have these kind of people in this kind of physical shape as the chief of police. It's like the father trying to set an example for his son. I think it would be much better that the man have good physical attributes than slopping beer down every fucking night with a beer gut. I don't think we're raising our children up in the ways of the Lord, in other words.
I think it is shameful that the Chief Paul Clark is still the chief of the police department after I notified you all of his actions against me. All right, if there was an honorable, oath-taking member of this council, that person would advocate that we remove Paul Clark from his position with the city of Linton. It's important to remember what Mr. Clark wants me in jail for. The charge he's leveled against me carries a maximum sentence of 180 days in a cage. The accusation he's leveled against me is that I spoke in front of you in March. Right? When those in power seek to jail vocal critics, it shows a lack of respect for history, but more importantly, it shows a contempt for the rights given to us by our Creator.
That history we're talking about is, again, like I said, sooner or later, you keep doing this kind of stupid shit. People ain't that stupid. They're going to take care of business before your stupid shit comes to the insanity level of wiping us out.
It's a message from the government that if you speak out against us or our actions, we will seek to destroy you and lock you up. Many people are blind to the police's wrongdoings, and they're blinded by these political slogans or hive mind mentalities like back the blue. Many of these same people are naturally inclined to be suspicious of the government as a whole, but support the police blindly. But if the police are acting as overreaching government agents, and if they are trying to criminalize speech that they don't like, we have passed the point of no return. I come before you again today. I think this is for the third time.
This is an egregious attack on the First Amendment in all respects. Your freedom of religion, which tells us through the scriptures of the King James Version of the Bible for Christians that we are prophets unto the nations. In that profiting unto the nations, sanctified and ordained, there is no national ordinance that can sanction those words, and therefore we have the freedom of speech. And the freedom of speech is done through the freedom of expression as well, and being able to put it not only verbally through our voice, but orally as an instruction, directive, or another writing of some sort. And then we have the petition or the right to assemble, which is the gathering in the word of truth, so we can bring forth the one or two or three witnesses. And then we have the petition to redress the government. That redress the government is to redress the government, not us. They're the ones that are in the false armor.
Time now. With the request that you all come to your senses, leave this hive mind mentality in the past. This police department is attacking vocal critics. Its weapon, the legal system. I ask that you end it. Abolish this police department. And if you don't...
The legal system, and that goes to 18 U.S.C. 1589, again, that forced labor wherein it has that definition of abuse or threatened abuse of the law or legal system, whether it be administrative, civil, or criminal, for a purpose which it is not intended. 20-year sentence.
Want to end it. I'd like to ask you, how do you stand behind the chief after you all know?
With the First Amendment, there is no law that reaches out to shut down critics, vocal or otherwise.
That he has leveled criminal charges against me for speaking in the United States of America.
Further comments complete?
There's no answer to my question from any member of the council.
See, they don't even understand a question. So when it comes to communicating with the people, they're so far cut off from communicating with the people that when they talk about public comments, they don't want to address questions because it merely says public comments. They're not here to answer your questions, folks. They'll listen to you whine But like the other guy in the previous city council meeting, this guy's probably going to come back and hand him all the lawsuit. These people are getting good at this stuff.
There is not a interaction. This is your just comment.
No, they're just people. I'm just asking.
Anything else? I make a motion, we adjourn.
Anything else? I make a motion we adjourn. They want to get out of there quick. There was no squabble about that or nothing. He just shook his head like, nah. All right, I'll make a motion we adjourn.
Second. Motion's been made, seconded to adjourn. Thank you for speaking. All in favor?
Interrupted the motion to thank him for speaking, and then voted. See, these people have no decorum or order. They get so flustered they will go completely out of order. Call it adjourn quick, and then and forget that we gotta thank him for his speech, yeah. They don't give a fucking rat's ass about you. They give a rat's ass about the dollar. So get them where the dollar counts. They want to sit at that table with $75 million city bond. Go ahead, bring it. I'm going to double you. I see you and double you. Fold.
Yep.
We are fresh out of the Linton City Council meeting.
And I hope they do start getting some of these people for that, guys, because that's what it is. It's domestic terrorism, in my strong opinion. This isn't legal advice or anything. I'm certainly not a lawyer or attorney or anything. I've just been well-versed in what I've read and researched. And I believe that is at the very base minimum, domestic terrorism, warring against the Constitution, as Imperium Privatus says. Sounds like the chief is warring against the U.S. Constitution and directly the First Amendment. Sounds like treason, domestic terrorism according to the Patriot Act, on top of trading with the enemies as it was originally implemented. Absolutely.
Where just moments ago, we asked the Linton City Council how they can defend the actions of their police chief, Paul Clark. We are now going to attempt to ask Mr. Clark how he defends those actions. Let's wait just a few seconds. So we were not able to ask Paul Clark.
Of course not. He scooted out the other door. And watch what happens next.
The chief of police the question we wanted to. However, we did find one of the councilmen and posed a question to him. Here's how he responded. Councilman. Hey, how's it going, sir?
It's going fine. I ain't got time.
What is it?
I don't have time, sorry.
I was wondering, I appreciate...
Don't have time, sorry. Don't have time, sorry. Now watch what he says.
Your vehicle here, I was wondering if you are a constitutionalist yourself.
Nope.
Nope. See, his first indicative response is nope. And then not more than 30 seconds later, a lot less than that actually.
Yes, I am, but I don't want to.
Yes, I am actually. Nope. Yes, I am actually. See, they don't even know what to say, and then he uses something else, but I don't want to.
You don't want to have the difficult conversation?
No, thank you.
Absolutely. See, they don't want to have the difficult conversation, folks, and that's it. Nobody wants to have that difficult conversation. Nobody wants to have somebody sit there and tell them face to face the real truth, and that, hey, even if you're fucking up, we need to change. See, that's what this world is truly about, folks, is change. You're full-grown adults. You're supposed to be able to adapt to your changing environment. You have to be able to show your adeptness, to be able to adopt the things that come into your life that are forcing you to adapt and change. You have to understand nature has its own force. If you go against that force, you're going to fall into disease. You're going to be the one that's going to start dying. And you're going to be literally, like I said the other day on another panel, when we sign all these documents, you know what you're doing is you're executing yourself. You're fulfilling that executive office, and you're executing yourself because you don't know what you're doing. I urge you to stop.
Come on, brother. That's shameful, man. No member of this government wants to have to face the public or answer any difficult questions from them. Luckily, in the description, I have included their Facebook page, so you can ask them any question you would like. Just to reinforce the need to abolish Paul Clark's police department, here is Mr. Clark's response when the city council asks him.
And when people give out these other social sites for these city councils and stuff, I urge you to go over and comment, but I urge you to do so with in mind your own peaceful intent. If you go over there and you start making stupid comments and things like that, they can call it harassment and domestic terrorism. Do you get it? You better make damn sure you know what you're saying before you go running your mouth. Coin your words or purse your lips.
What he has to report for the last 3 months in a row.
I don't have anything with the council, sir.
All right. Okay, any public comment at all?
I don't have anything to report. We're just going to continue to do what we're doing.
We're just going to continue to do what we were doing. That's their plan, to just keep doing what they were doing. They're not planning on changing, folks.
He's just going to continue writing up criminal charges for people that used free speech and nothing else. Well, folks, there you have it. Linton Police Department. The Facebook will be in the description and linked comment. Take it easy, guys.
So I'm going to drop this down there for everybody to go check it out. Check out the Facebook link if you want. But again, remember, folks, like I said, be very careful what you say. Don't go getting wrapped up in your hurt feelers or emotions and saying stupid shit that's going to get you trapped up in their jails. Be very wise about what you have to say if you do say anything. The next one I've got .
This guy noticed 3 police cars pulled over for a traffic stop. Naturally, he got curious and started to film. Then this cop noticed him, and she started flexing her authority. Unfortunately for her, the guy knew his rights. He kept a legal distance and dismissed her on the spot.
So when, again, it comes to that neighborhood watch program and using our phones, it doesn't matter if you're sitting on your porch out for a walk or if you're blatantly out recording public. I don't care. Know what you're doing and do it appropriately. This guy does an excellent job.
Since you're making contact with me, could you identify your name and badge number?
I'm Officer Albee.
See, if you don't make contact with them first, then the requirement thing or the ID thing kicks in. When they make contact with you, and it's not a consensual conversation, they make contact with you, your first thing is to require them to ID. Let them know this. You contacted me. I need your ID. See, this goes all the way up to the international law about international law of the flag. If you're going to make an offer to do business, you have to have an advertisement of some sort. You have to put forth a knowing of who you are and what your services or products are.
And your badge number, please?
I don't even know why you're here right now.
I asked you a direct question. Do you have your badge number on
And
you?
I asked you to leave because right now you're not allowed to be on our traffic stop.
Ma'am.
You're not allowed to be on our traffic stop. No, your traffic stop is on a public road. And just because you have a traffic stop doesn't mean I have to go around. If you have a situation where you think I have to go around, you put your fucking cones up, you ignorant pigs, cunt. Excuse my language.
If you're refusing to identify your badge number, it might result in a complaint with your.
Or security tape, caution tape. Remember how they tape off the crime scene? Yeah, you want me to be restricted as far as the Supreme Court says 8 foot, and I'm on the public sidewalk. You're way up there, and these cars are yeah. You don't have any caution tape up, so back the fuck off. You came up to me.
Department.
Okay, I understand that. My badge number is 639.
Thank you very much.
But I've asked you a question.
At this time, it's not consensual.
You're on my traffic stop.
You're on my traffic stop. Let's break down that English. You are on my traffic stop. What does your traffic stop have to do with me, and how am I on it? I'm on the sidewalk. Is your traffic stop on the sidewalk, or is your traffic stop in the street? You dumb pigs, cunt.
Ma'am, I'm an appropriate distance from your traffic stop. Please go back to work. Ma'am, go back to work. Go back.
But if something were to happen to you and you get harmed, now it's about public safety. Right? These people are just fucking insane.
To work.
Then that would fall on our department.
Yeah. Then that would fall on our department.
Harmed right now, how would that?
You're a liar. Okay. Now do your job.
You're a liar. Okay. She turned around quick on that one. And notice she got on her phone. Coward-ass fucks.
Can I help you, sir? See that sign right there? Trespassing sign? You've been duly trespassed.
Who's been duly trespassed? I'm on the public sidewalk.
No, you're.
This is Big Nick out of Florida. This guy's great too. Go check him out. Big Nick.
What is your name and your badge number?
C.O.W.A.R.D.S 178.
Thank you.
All right.
Get you to tell me that you're going to trespass me off a public sidewalk, and you're going to trespass me out of my friend's store, who I have permission to go in there, and I know the owner.
There's trespass affidavits. They don't want people loitering around the business. There's people drinking alcohol.
I'm not drinking alcohol. You just tried to trespass me. I'm not talking about them.
Then go across.
No, I'm going to stay on this sidewalk. You address me.
Don't get into my vicinity, right? Sir, you need to step away from me.
You are.
See? And that's another one. You addressed me. See, they're not supposed to be talking to us.
Me.
Put that thing in my face.
You walked up to the camera, man. Who do you think you were trying?
You walked up to the camera. Don't put that thing in my face. You walked up to the camera. I don't see how people don't see this.
Intimidate. You can't do that, Cop Roach. You try to trespass me off a public sidewalk, Cop Roach. I've been knowing this guy for years. I've never given him a problem. Can I patronize your business? Am I allowed to spend money in your business? I can't do that? Thank you. I don't hang out in there. I'm on the sidewalk, Cop Roach. Learn the law. Yeah, Cop Roach. That's all I need, Blue Isis.
And that's all he needed. That's all he needed was permission to be a customer at that store. Didn't sound like he was trespassing him.
Here we got the road rage battle between a lowered pickup truck and a raised pickup truck. Watch the white pickup cut off the other one and give some brake checks.
And this goes to everyday stupidity of people acting like Kens and Karens. My God. Who the fuck do you think you are? So silver spoon-fed motherfucking privileged cocksuckers.
Bloody heck. They are endangering other people with this bull crap. The raised truck recklessly speeds up on the shoulder and cuts off the camera, and then they continue their road rage. I hope they lose their licenses. They have no right to put others at risk because they have beef with each other.
Not at all. If you got some kind of beef with somebody because your feelers got hurt, please don't do it in the physical world where you're going to hurt other people. That's just fucking stupid. Especially if you got other people, friends and family in the car. Dumbasses.
Maybe a supervisor will be better. But
you don't need a supervisor. You got 4 cops here. Relax. No, that's the problem. I've got 4 cops here. It should only take 1, and you're all fucking trying to gang up in gang style, bully and threaten and intimidate people with your lies and insanity.
I'm asking you for a supervisor.
You don't need one. You don't need one.
Okay. You can't turn a constitutionally protected activity into a crime, sir. Unfortunately, as much as you'd like to.
Can't turn a constitutionally approved activity into a crime, nor can you convert it through to a privilege by restriction or limitation of a license. You don't need a press pass for anything.
Even if it's not a crime, it's creepy as heck.
I'm going to request a supervisor again.
In a minute. Yeah.
I'm going to request one. I'm pretty sure your policy, if I go home and look at your policy, and I'm pretty sure if I request a supervisor, you guys should call one, correct? So I'm going to request a supervisor again. I would appreciate if you guys can get a supervisor down here.
In a minute. You don't rule the roost here right now.
Yeah, no, I'm just requesting a supervisor just for
in a minute.
Because you guys are a little bit hostile. I can see the tyrant in you, Utter. You're a real tyrant.
Yeah.
I can see it in your eyes.
In law enforcement experience.
Yeah, the tyrant that refuses to communicate with the very people that they're obligated to. These public officials, in every respect, as public service is a public trust, have an obligation to we the people. And by acting the way they do, they are acting out of the interest of the trust. They are letting their egos and their machoism go to their fucking heads. These people are fucking insane. They are not qualified to hold these positions.
I'm not still here, but I'm a tyrant.
You are. Maybe a supervisor will be better.
Supervisor. You got 4 cops here. Relax.
But I'm asking you for a supervisor.
You don't need one.
Got 4 cops here acting like thugs. That's what he's got.
A woman has a right to choose what occurs with her body.
Pay attention to this one, guys, gals. Very important to understand what people use as a fallback when they're cornered. They get cornered in one topic and they fall back by a projection in another topic. But oops, guess what the projection does? The projection comes back to bite them in the ass. Bite away. Keep running your fucking mouth. Keep thinking you're privileged. And somehow you have a greater right over somebody else's life, no matter whose it is.
And I don't think that it should be anybody else's decision.
So what if the body inside her body is a female?
Ultimately, the owning body is.
Ultimately, the owning body. So now she's professing to own. Now it's not a male or female, it's an own. Because women have the right to determine what goes on in their body, right? So let's get that out of the way and exclude the males from it then. So now we're going to exclude anybody that isn't a owning body. Bite.
Going to make the decision. And
So you believe humans can own other humans?
as a black person, no, that's definitely not my answer to that question, and not the yes.
What did you just say?
A woman has a right to choose what occurs with her.
A woman has a right to choose what occurs with her body.
It should be anybody else's decision.
And I don't think it should be anybody else's decision.
So what if the body inside her body is a female?
So what if the body inside her body is a female?
Ultimately, the owning body is going to make the decision. And
ultimately, the owning body is going to make the decision.
So you believe humans can own other humans?
And so you believe humans can own other humans. See, the problem is that when we think as a species, as moms and dads, I don't care if it is dad that gets pregnant and carries that baby. In our species, it's the mom that does that. But that still isn't our child. We are all children of Christ. Why is it we forget that? Why is it that age, race, sex, gender, all that has to come in. It's sad.
Have you ever seen her, or has she ever told you what to do when you were an inmate at the Lexington facility in Cleveland, Oklahoma? This is Tasha Parker, the warden, the deputy warden at the prison. That means she's the boss. She's the one preventing drugs from coming into the prison, or maybe she's the one bringing them in. And she's keeping security together. She's in charge of all the staff members. She's the boss. But something happens at her house. She's living at a state-owned property. You know, Oklahoma taxpayers, you're paying for her housing. She lives at a house on the property of the prison. In case anything happens, she can get there fast and take care of it and manage the situation. But anyway, a friend of hers overdoses at her house. Authorities are called, ambulances called. They start to do an investigation, and they find all kinds of things like meth, tobacco, marijuana, paraphernalia. And they find out that the deputy warden is the one bringing the bag into the prison. She's the one supposed to be preventing it, but she's the one bringing it in. What do you think should happen to this chick? Deputy warden or inmate? Have you ever...
You're going to keep putting your power in control of criminals. Great choices, folks.
He is a well-known Chicago activist, known for his work at crime scenes and helping grieving families. But now Andrew Holmes is out of a job. The nonprofit he worked for says he's been terminated amid a lawsuit and allegations that he assaulted a former coworker. Holmes also serves as a trustee.
If you don't remember, this is from Dolton, Illinois. They're coming down one by one, folks.
In the village of Dalton. NBC5's Regina Waldrop with tonight's story.
We in the most dangerous areas at the most dangerous time at night.
His name, his face, synonymous with the fight against Chicago violence.
We are just concerned about the child right about now.
On TV screens and in newspapers, Andrew Holmes stood with families during their most difficult times. He met with dignitaries, received countless awards for his work as a crisis responder. But in the wake of allegations against him, now the group he worked for, Chicago Survivors, says Andrew's been terminated. A statement to NBC5 reads, "Our mission is to provide crime victim services to family members of homicide victims, so our relationship with those families and our community is paramount. Without compromise, there needs to be strong mutual trust and an assumed high level of safety for the adults and children we serve. For those reasons, we terminated his employment in April upon learning of the serious allegations."
I'm fighting for every woman.
Holmes also serves as an elected trustee in the village of Dalton. He's being sued by Fania Dukes, Mayor Tiffany Henyard's ex-assistant. Dukes filed this civil lawsuit against Henyard and Holmes. She accuses him of assaulting her. Dukes issued this statement last week describing the lawsuit's allegations.
Until my last memory was me waking up in his room.
In this video, she details what she says happened before and after an incident that allegedly occurred almost a year ago during a taxpayer-paid economic development trip to Las Vegas. On that trip, Henyard, a handful of Village and Thornton Township reps, and trustee Holmes. According to the lawsuit, after dinner and walking the Las Vegas Strip with Holmes, Dukes felt disoriented and ultimately blacked out. Holmes has not responded to our repeated requests for a comment. Mary Avant is a retired.
So I want to point out, she said she was blacked out. So if she was blacked out, how could she make the accusations? So I want to go back. Where was it? Watch your hand motions as she's talking here.
For every woman.
Holmes also serves as an elected trustee in the village of Dalton. He's being sued by Fania Dukes, Mayor Tiffany Henyard's ex-assistant. Dukes filed this civil lawsuit.
She's using a lot of open palm and finger pointing and grasping to help her explain things. She's holding tight, trying to hold her story together. Okay? So if she blacked out, how did she remember anything?
With Holmes, Dukes felt disoriented and ultimately blacked out. Holmes has not responded to our repeated requests for a comment. Mary Avant is a retired Chicago police officer. She says the allegations are serious and Chicago Survivors, did the right thing.
I think it's a little bit of being careful because they have to be concerned about themselves and the look it gives them.
And many residents and also some trustees are calling on Andrew Holmes to step down from the village board. Reporting from Dalton, I'm Regina Waldrop, NBC5.
Absolutely. I think they all should. I think they all should step down. I think it's atrocious that we have people in public service, which is a public trust, that are obligated to we the people. And in that obligation, they have a basic obligation of communicating with those people. And that's the last thing they want to do. It's atrocious. That's what the Constitution's all about, that First Amendment, the freedom of speech, this freedom of expression. How do you expect the people to be able to freely express themselves if you won't impute what their needs are into your city budget? How long do you think that city budget's going to last for your own needs when it's dependent upon the money that you get from the people? So anyway, that brings us to the end of tonight's stream. I want to thank everybody for your support. Please remember, hit that like, share, and subscribe button on the way out. There is a PayPal link down there for anybody that wants to share some love. All is appreciated. And you guys know me. I love you. But I don't give a rat's ass whether you love me back. And I say I don't care if you hate me. I don't care if you don't respect me. That's on you. So may God bless you and have a good night. We'll see you next time.